Miami's a nice city, too. Folks are flocking there.
Yeah, definitely.
And in fact, Miami had more than its share of media today for the formal start of the first season featuring Dwayne Wade's new teammates, LeBron James and Chris Bosh. The Three Heats collaboration made Miami an immediate contender in the eyes of most. It also created a wide range of reaction, positive and negative. Our Steve Smith caught up with the men in the eye of that South Florida storm.
D-Wade, LeBron, Chris, let's start off. I mean, I know when I was a player, I never looked forward to media day, but I know what went on this summer. How much did you guys look forward to media day?
Well, I mean, it's a chance for people to get an initial report of how they feel your team's going to be, of how your summer has been, and I think everyone knows it's been a different summer for all three of us. So, I mean, do you look forward to it? I think yes, because it's one step closer to training camp. You get out to practice, you know that next day you get to rolling. So we look forward to it to that point.
Well, looking at this, D-Wade, you've been here for a while. You know, a lot of fans want to know about you three, but then a lot of fans want to know about the other players, and also Coach Spo. Can you talk about his strengths and his the ways his coaching style? How will it help these other guys?
Well, you know, one thing that I love about Coach Spo is, you know, he's real. You know, and for him is, you know, what you see is what you get. You know, he's a guy who, you know, he has a philosophy. He sticks to his philosophy, but he also understands today's players and the game that we play today. So, you know, he's a guy that they're going to be able to go to, you know, in the middle of games and, you know, be able to, you know, talk to him. And he's going to let them have some freedom as well. But also, he's strict to his principles. It's a good combination. And I think, like I said, you know, he hasn't hit 40 yet. He's still in his 30s. And, you know, he can relate to us as well.
LeBron, you talk about being a historian, loving the game, watching teams back in the 80s and 90s. How do you envision this Miami Heat team? Do you have any comparisons that you're looking at some teams back in the day?
Man, I don't know. Maybe like maybe like Magic, James Worthy, and Kareem a little bit. I don't know who's gonna take the sky hook. I guess I'll be big game. I'll be big game James part 2. But you know, I mean, yeah, like I said, I love the history of the game, man. And I mean, you've seen those teams back in the days, man. It was not just one guy. It wasn't just Magic by himself. It wasn't just Isaiah. It wasn't just Jordan. It wasn't just Bird by themselves, man. They, you know, they might got all the headlines and the praise, but they had other Hall of Famers with them, not just all-stars and not just guys that can come off the bench and score 20 points. They had guys that can really go get it themselves if they was on the other team by themselves.
When you look at it, you know, defense has been here in Miami, and as you guys know as well, and we talk about offense, I envision you guys getting up and down running. That's going to be easy. But when the game stops in the playoffs, championships, a half court, what do you think is going to be y'all's staple? You know, when getting up and running, you guys are unselfish, but in the half court basketball, if any of y'all can talk about what's going to be your staple.
Well, I mean, I think the thing, you know, like I said, we want to create offense, you know, from our defense. That's our main goal. But when it breaks down and we have playmakers, you know, and not just the three sitting up here. We are other guys that can make the game easier, you know, for everyone else on the floor. And you need that in the half court, especially versus those great defensive teams, especially versus Lent. You need other guys that will be able to penetrate. You need other guys to be able to make shots, to make the game easier for everyone else. So, you know, of course, we're going to run a lot of offensive sets. You know, you play here, you know, when I was here, we played together, and we're going to have all the offensive sets in the world. But at the end of the day, you need somebody that's going to be able to get that ball and going to be able to make plays, and we have a lot of playmakers.
When you look at it all summer, everybody talked about, with 2 seconds left, who's going to take that shot. From a player standpoint, who's going to be that guy in that huddle from a defensive standpoint saying, hey, I want to stop the Kobe Bryants, the Carmelos, or the big-time scorers on that last possession?
Oh, well, for me, I'm always going to take that challenge. And I think all three of us, I mean, as a team, we all going to take that challenge. But, I mean, that's where I make my staple. I mean, I love the defensive side of the floor. And, you know, and that's what creates offense. Defense getting a stop against a big-time scorer. It's very tough in this league to get individual one-on-one defensive stops. We have to do it as a team, but, you know, I have no problem with taking that challenge.
You know, you look at it, everybody's going to sacrifice points. But can you look at this year, Chris, saying, hey, I might lead the league in rebounding or some steals or field goal percentage? What else is going to be your staple besides scoring points?
I mean, I rebound the basketball. That's what I do. You know, I've always done that, and especially with these guys here, I can look forward to more offensive rebounds because I'm not going to take as many shots as I did in Toronto. I know that's going to change for me. So being able just to move without the ball, you know, get a lot of easy buckets to help field goal percentage and a lot of offensive and defensive rebounds and just kick it to these guys to start the break. I think that's very important. But anything on the defensive side, I think we're all looking to improve in one way or the other as far as steals, blocks, rebounds. You know, we can all really improve. And if we improve on the defensive end, you know, his field goal percentage is going to go up because when he's a beast in the open court, you already know what he can do. So, I mean, the outlet pass, 2 dribbles, you know, we'll be at the basket. So that's going to be our backbone is the defensive end.
Now, when you look at LeBron, you know, it's 6 years you're going to be here. Is that 6 rings?
I mean, that's what we hope. I mean, that's what I hope. That's the only reason I came down here for.
So if it's not 6 rings, what will be an unsuccessful season, in your opinion, from all 3 of you guys?
Well, unsuccessful season would be us not reaching our potential, not getting better every day, taking games off. You know, taking games off because we know we have talent. You know, we more talented than this team. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we take 3 quarters off and then we win it in the 4th. You know, that can make sure we lose games later on in the game. We might be able to do that against some of the teams that maybe not be as talented as us, but playing hard every single night, playing hard for 48 minutes, as close to 48 minutes as possible, that would be an unsuccessful season for me because, and for us, because we know the quality of players we have and we know exactly what we want to get to.
Chris, last question for you and D-Wade. Team to beat in the Eastern Conference.
Boston.
Team to beat, as far as overall in the NBA.
Oh, in the NBA, the Lakers. No, they're the champions, hands down.
So you're going through Boston, you're going through LA.
We're going through way more than them two, but but you know,
yeah, you
Boston is the Eastern Conference champs, and the Lakers is the world champions. So we have to get through them, but we got other people in front of them.
Yeah, you have Orlando out there too. There.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Those are probably the smart things to say about who's the favorite in the Eastern Conference and in the NBA. What do you think this team's going to be? I mean, they have a full roster now. You know what these guys can do. How do you envision them playing, and just how good do you expect them to be from the get-go?
I think they're going to be the most exciting team in basketball that we've seen in a long time. They're going to get a lot of stops, as they said before. When they get stops, because they have high flyers, Dwayne Wade and these guys, they can get up and run and dunk and play a great game, not let alone Mike Miller and Eddie House in the corner for 3. So for the fans of basketball, we're going to be really happy to watch this. I do think it's going to take time to gel. You have 3 leaders, 3 strong leaders who have put their ego on the floor, which is great, but they kind of have to go back to learning how to follow and how to take that ego that's made them so great, how to take that out to make the team greater. So I think we're going to see the most exciting basketball. I think it's going to be slow. I think we're all going to jump off the bandwagon in the beginning because they're going to
slow to develop, or you mean they're going to play slow? They're not going to play slow.
No, slow to develop in wins.
Okay.
Because they're figuring certain things out. Pat Riley's the master puppeteer. He's going to have things going right. But I think it's going to be slow in the beginning. But when they take off, they're going to be the most exciting team to watch. When they win a championship, I still think the Lakers are the best team out there, and Boston is right there. But as far as exciting and knowing these guys put their heart and their egos back in the locker room and they're playing hard, we're going to see that every night.
So you anticipate maybe some early stumbles at the beginning of the season as they try to figure things out. You'll be there on opening night in Boston for the TNT game between the Heat and the Boston Celtics. What do you anticipate the reaction will be in these cities where this circus comes to town?
I think that Boston is ready. We know that Boston in the past has had a scenario where they'd say, okay, the regular season, yeah, we'll play well, but it doesn't mean that much. We want to be healthy for the playoffs. They're so fired up. They're so tired of hearing about the Miami Heat. They were so upset with that, quote, victory parade they put on once they signed these guys. Doc Rivers called Pat Riley immediately and said, Coach, the first time I've ever seen a victory parade before the season. Pat goes, Doc, I got to admit, I think we did go a little too far. So they got everybody mad at them. The one place I think they are more mad than anywhere is Boston, L.A., and Orlando. You know, obviously Chicago.
Cleveland.
It's the most exciting team maybe since Jordan and the Bulls, but everybody liked that team.
Right.
They went in other cities, they'd sell out, nobody booed them.
Good point.
This team is going to get booed, they're going to be heckled. A lot of people don't like them.
And I agree with you. I think they're going to get booed, but turn it around. Who cares? I used to love getting booed on the road. That's applause, backwards applause. They don't boo people that can't play. And so I just feel that if they go out there with...
They booed a distinguished player like you?
No.
Distinguished member of the media as well.
Distinguished. But I remember, I just grew up a Pistons fan, and I just remember every time Bill Laimbeer going like this to
They
the
love
crowd.
that. They thrived on that.
And I just say, if they just take it, we all know they're good guys. They've been great citizens of the NBA. No one's questioning that. Go ahead and be some bad butts on the court and let everybody know how tough you are. Don't apologize to us for signing together. Don't be all this nice. Go out there and beat everybody and then say, I told you so. You shouldn't have been dogging us in the beginning.
They'll have plenty of chances. Little known fact, by the way, the studio crew boos C. Webb every time he enters
They
the
do,
studio
they do,
for a
they
show.
do, they
And he
do.
loves it. There it is. And he absolutely loves it. By the way, the Heat are coming to NBA TV October 5th. Marv Albert will be on that call. Chris Webber will be on that call as well. It starts with the Autotrader.com pregame show at 7 Eastern Time.